Welcome to today's video, where we're going to dive into the world of advanced vocabulary. If you've ever found yourself struggling to express an idea or feeling with the right words, you're not alone. Expanding your vocabulary can make a huge difference in how you communicate, helping you sound more confident and articulate. In this video, we'll explore a variety of words that can elevate your language skills and give you the tools to express yourself more precisely. Whether you're preparing for exams, writing, or just looking to improve your daily communication, these words will help you add depth and clarity to your speech and writing. Let's get started and enhance our vocabulary together. Let's begin with our first word, meticulous. Have you ever met someone who notices the smallest details? Someone who can spend hours perfecting one little thing just to make sure it's exactly right? That's what it means to be meticulous. It's a word used to describe someone who is extremely careful and precise in everything they do. They don't just finish tasks, they make sure every part of it is done perfectly. They take their time, double-check everything, and pay attention to the things others might overlook. Imagine a scientist carefully measuring a chemical, or a designer adjusting the smallest elements of a piece of artwork. They don't rush through their work. They focus on the details and make sure everything is in place. That's the essence of being meticulous. For example, you could say, "She's a meticulous editor. She checks every sentence carefully and makes sure there are no mistakes." Or, "He's a meticulous planner. He organizes every part of the project, and nothing is left to chance." Being meticulous is often considered a great quality, especially in professional settings. It means you're responsible, thorough, and take pride in the work you do. If you're doing something important, like an important report or a project, being meticulous ensures that everything is correct and well thought out. But keep in mind, if someone focuses too much on the small details and loses sight of the bigger picture, it can become a problem. So while it's a positive quality, it can also be something to manage carefully. Charismatic describes someone who has a special charm or presence that naturally attracts and influences others. When a person is charismatic, they draw people in with their energy and the way they make others feel. It's not about being loud or the center of attention, but about the ability to inspire or motivate others without even trying. People who are charismatic often have a magnetic quality that makes others want to listen to them, follow their lead, or simply be around them. For example, you might say, "He's a charismatic leader who can rally a crowd with just a few words." Or, "She has a charismatic personality that makes everyone feel comfortable and engaged." This word is commonly used to describe leaders, public figures, or anyone who has the ability to captivate people's attention and make a strong, positive impression. Being charismatic isn't just about being extroverted. It's about creating a connection with others that leaves them feeling inspired or valued. When someone is described as aloof, it means they are distant or detached from others. They often keep to themselves, avoid getting too involved in social situations, and may seem uninterested or even indifferent. An aloof person typically doesn't engage much with people around them and can come across as cold or emotionally distant. It's not that they're being rude on purpose, but more that they prefer to keep their distance or stay out of the spotlight. For example, imagine someone at a social gathering who stays in the background, not joining conversations or activities. You could describe that person as aloof. It's a way to say that they aren't being warm or approachable, possibly because they enjoy solitude or simply don't feel like interacting. Pragmatic refers to a person who is practical and focused on realistic solutions, rather than being driven by ideals or emotions. Someone who is pragmatic looks at the situation as it is and makes decisions based on what will work best in that particular moment, rather than worrying about how things should ideally be. They tend to be problem solvers who focus on the practical aspects of a situation, cutting through theories or abstract ideas to get things done. For example, if you're facing a tough situation at work and someone suggests a practical way to solve it, you could describe them as being pragmatic. They don't get bogged down by unnecessary details or complications. Instead, they take action with what's available and move forward. Being pragmatic is a useful trait, especially in business or when making decisions that need immediate results. It's about getting things done effectively without overthinking or getting distracted by theoretical possibilities. Eloquent is a word used to describe someone who speaks or writes in a way that is not only clear but also impactful and persuasive. It's more than just being able to form sentences well. It's about making your words come alive, engaging others with what you're saying, and often leaving them with a strong impression. When someone is eloquent, their words are fluid and have a certain rhythm or beauty that makes them enjoyable to listen to or read. Think about a speaker who can hold a crowd's attention and make them feel something with just a few words. Or a writer whose work resonates long after it's been read. That's eloquence. It's the ability to express thoughts effectively and beautifully, which often makes what's being said more memorable. So, in short, being eloquent is about using your words in a way that's not only understandable but also stirring and moving. Candid describes someone who is honest, straightforward, and open, often without trying to hide their true thoughts or feelings. A candid person speaks their mind and expresses their opinions or emotions openly, without pretense or filters. This quality is often valued because it shows authenticity and transparency. For example, you might say, "He gave a candid answer during the interview, explaining exactly what went wrong." Or, "She's always candid with her feedback, telling me what I need to improve without sugarcoating it." Being candid can sometimes mean being blunt or direct, which might not always be what others want to hear, but it is appreciated for its honesty. It's about being real and not holding back. Resilient refers to a person's ability to bounce back or recover quickly from difficult situations, challenges, or adversity. Someone who is resilient doesn't stay down for long when faced with setbacks. Instead, they find ways to adapt, learn from the experience, and keep moving forward. It's a quality that allows people to handle stress, failure, or hardship without being permanently affected by it. For example, you could say, after losing his job, he was resilient and found a new opportunity within a few months. Or, her resilient spirit helped her overcome the illness and get back to doing what she loves. Being resilient isn't about avoiding difficulties, but about how you respond to them. It's about having the strength and mindset to stay strong and persevere, no matter what obstacles come your way. Versatile describes someone or something that can adapt to many different functions, tasks, or situations. A versatile person has a wide range of skills or talents and can handle various activities or challenges with ease. It's the ability to be flexible and effective in different contexts. For example, you might say, "She's a versatile employee who can handle both customer service and administrative tasks." Or, "This tool is versatile. It can be used for cutting, shaping, and polishing." Being versatile means you are not limited to one specific area or skill but can shift between different roles or responsibilities successfully. It's a valuable trait because it shows adaptability and a broad set of capabilities. Inquisitive is when someone shows a strong interest in learning or finding out more about things. It's the feeling of wanting to understand something better or explore a new idea. A person with an inquisitive mindset doesn't stop at the basics. They ask questions, search for answers, and enjoy discovering new information. For example, you might notice someone asking a lot of questions, like, "How does this work?" Or, "Why is that important?" Their interest in figuring things out is driven by a desire to know more and understand things fully. People who are inquisitive are often engaged in activities that require deep thinking or problem solving because they're always looking for ways to learn and expand their knowledge. Impartial refers to someone who is fair and unbiased, treating all sides or parties equally. A person who is impartial doesn't show favoritism and makes decisions or judgments based on facts and evidence, rather than personal feelings or preferences. They strive to be neutral and objective, especially in situations where their own opinion or emotions could influence the outcome. For example, you might say, "The judge remained impartial throughout the trial, making decisions only based on the evidence." Or, "He gave an impartial review of the movie, mentioning both the good and bad aspects." Being impartial is important in situations where fairness is crucial, as it ensures that everyone involved is treated equally and that decisions are made in a balanced, fair way. Reliable is when someone or something can be trusted to do what's expected without fail. It's about being dependable and consistent, whether in meeting deadlines, keeping promises, or maintaining a high standard of work. A reliable person is one you can always count on because they follow through on what they say they will do. This reliability creates a sense of trust and confidence in others, making them feel secure knowing that the person or thing will not disappoint. In both personal and professional relationships, reliability is highly valued because it demonstrates responsibility and commitment. For example, 1. John is a reliable team member who always ensures the work is done on time and meets high standards. In this case, John is someone who can be counted on to deliver work that is both timely and of good quality. 2. My car is reliable. It starts every morning without any issues, no matter the weather. This refers to a car that consistently functions well and doesn't let you down. 3. You can rely on Sarah to be there when she says she will. She's the most reliable friend I have. Here, Sarah is being described as someone dependable, always showing up when she's needed. Being reliable means people can trust you to keep your word, show up when expected, and handle responsibilities in a consistent manner. This trait is crucial in maintaining strong relationships, whether in a personal or professional setting, because it shows that you are someone others can depend on. Aberration is a deviation from what is normal, expected, or typical. It describes something that is out of the ordinary, often implying that it's an anomaly or an unusual occurrence that doesn't fit the regular pattern. This term can be used in both a negative and neutral sense, depending on the context. It often suggests that something has gone wrong or is not in line with the usual course of events. For example, the scientists' findings were seen as an aberration from the accepted theory, leading to further investigation. This suggests that the scientists' discovery was unexpected and didn't align with the conventional understanding. The sudden drop in temperatures was an aberration for this time of year. Here, the drop in temperature is unusual for the season, making it an anomaly. His outburst was an aberration in an otherwise calm meeting. In this case, the person's outburst was an abnormal occurrence in the context of a generally peaceful situation. The word implies something rare or unusual that stands out from what is typically expected, often prompting further scrutiny or discussion. Cacophony is a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. It refers to an overwhelming and unpleasant noise that is chaotic or jarring to the ears. It can describe a situation where multiple loud noises clash together in a way that is disturbing or unsettling. Cacophony often creates an atmosphere of confusion or discomfort because the sounds don't harmonize or blend together. For example, the cacophony of car horns and sirens made it impossible to concentrate. This suggests that the loud, disordered sounds of the city are distracting and unpleasant. As the band tuned their instruments, a cacophony filled the room. Here, the sound is chaotic and not yet harmonious. The protest was accompanied by a cacophony of shouting and chanting. This implies that the protest was noisy and filled with conflicting loud sounds. Cacophony evokes a sense of noise that is not just loud, but chaotic and disruptive to the senses. Lethargic refers to a state of sluggishness or a lack of energy and enthusiasm. When someone feels lethargic, they often experience a sense of tiredness or apathy, making it difficult to engage in normal activities or feel motivated. This term can describe both physical and mental states of exhaustion or indifference. For example, after staying up all night, I felt lethargic and couldn't focus on my work. Here, lethargy is a result of physical tiredness, causing a lack of energy. The heat made everyone feel lethargic, and no one wanted to do anything. This suggests that the hot weather has drained people of their energy and motivation. She had a lethargic response to the exciting news, surprising everyone around her. In this case, the lack of emotional energy or interest is unusual and unexpected, as the news was something that should have sparked excitement. Lethargy is often associated with an overwhelming sense of tiredness or disinterest, making it difficult for someone to engage fully in their environment. Ineffable describes something so extraordinary or overwhelming that it cannot be expressed in words. It refers to experiences, feelings, or things that are beyond human description, either because they are too complex or too beautiful or profound to be captured accurately by language. Ineffable often conveys the sense that words fail to capture the full depth or essence of an experience. For example, the beauty of the sunset was ineffable. No words could do it justice. This means that the sunset was so beautiful that it couldn't be fully described by language. He had an ineffable sense of peace after the meditation retreat, something he couldn't explain to others. Here, the feeling of peace was so profound that it was beyond verbal expression. The ineffable joy of holding his newborn baby was something he would never forget. In this example, the emotion of joy was so intense and deep that it defied simple explanation. Ineffable is often used to convey the idea that some experiences or feelings go beyond what words can communicate. Quixotic describes something that is exceedingly idealistic, impractical, or unrealistic. It refers to actions or ideas that are noble and full of passion, but often out of reach or unattainable due to their impractical nature. The term comes from the character Don Quixote, who set out on a series of adventures based on misguided but passionate ideals. When something is quixotic, it may be admired for its ambition but is often seen as naive or foolish. For example, his quixotic attempts to solve world hunger with just one donation were admirable but unrealistic. In this case, the effort to address such a massive problem through a single act of generosity is seen as idealistic and not feasible. She had a quixotic view of love, believing that it should always be perfect and without flaws. This suggests that her expectations of love are overly idealistic and unlikely to be met in real life. The scientist's quixotic theory was rejected because it lacked practical application. This highlights how the theory, while potentially visionary, was not grounded in practical reality. Quixotic pursuits are often driven by high ideals, but they typically lack the practical foundation needed to succeed. Pernicious describes something that has a harmful, often subtle, effect over time. It refers to things or actions that cause damage, injury, or destruction, usually in a gradual or invisible way. Unlike immediate harm, pernicious things tend to worsen over time, sometimes in a way that isn't immediately obvious, which makes them particularly dangerous. For example, the pernicious effects of smoking are well documented, yet many continue to smoke. Here, smoking is harmful over time, causing serious health issues gradually. The spread of misinformation had a pernicious influence on public opinion, slowly eroding trust in the media. In this case, the spread of false information works in a harmful, hidden way, slowly altering public perception and damaging credibility. Corruption in the political system has a pernicious impact on democracy, undermining fairness and justice. This suggests that corruption works subtly, weakening the foundations of a democratic society over time. Pernicious implies that the damage caused is not always immediately visible, but its long-term effects are profound and often dangerous. Obfuscate means to deliberately make something unclear, confusing, or difficult to understand. It involves hiding the true meaning or making information less transparent, often to deceive or obscure the truth. When someone obfuscates, they intentionally complicate matters or provide information in a way that prevents clarity or understanding. For example, the politician's speech was filled with jargon designed to obfuscate the real issue. Here, the politician is using complicated language or evasive terms to avoid giving a clear answer. The company's financial report was intentionally obfuscated, hiding the losses from investors. This suggests that the company has purposefully made the report difficult to interpret to mask negative information. He tried to obfuscate the problem by focusing on irrelevant details during the meeting. In this case, the person is diverting attention away from the core issue, making it harder for others to focus on what's important. Obfuscation is often used to hide something or mislead others by making things unnecessarily complex or ambiguous. Ubiquitous describes something that is present or found everywhere, constantly encountered, or widespread. It suggests that the thing being described is so common and pervasive that it seems to be everywhere at once, appearing in many places and contexts. The term is often used to emphasize how something has become so integrated into daily life or society that it's difficult to avoid. For example, smartphones are ubiquitous in today's society, with almost everyone carrying one. This means that smartphones are so common now that they can be seen everywhere. The ubiquitous presence of social media has changed the way we communicate. Here, the influence of social media is so widespread that it affects communication across many areas of life. Pollution is ubiquitous in large cities, affecting the air and water quality in almost every neighborhood. This example shows that pollution is widespread, impacting almost every part of the city. Ubiquitous suggests that something is so prevalent and noticeable that it's almost impossible to ignore. Sycophant refers to a person who acts excessively submissive or obsequious towards someone in power, usually to gain personal advantage or favor. A sycophant often flatters, praises, or behaves in a way that is insincere, just to gain benefits or approval from those they seek to please. This type of behavior is seen as manipulative or self-serving rather than genuine. For example, the CEO surrounded himself with sycophants who agreed with everything he said, no matter how ridiculous. This suggests that the CEO is surrounded by people who only agree with him to stay in his good graces. Her sycophantic behavior towards her boss helped her get the promotion, even though her performance was lackluster. Here, the person's excessive flattery and obedience to her boss played a key role in her getting ahead. The king was surrounded by sycophants who only told him what he wanted to hear, making it difficult for him to get honest feedback. This highlights how sycophantic behavior can create an environment where genuine opinions are not heard, leading to poor decision-making. A sycophant's actions are driven by the desire for personal gain, often at the cost of honesty or integrity. In conclusion, learning new vocabulary is a powerful way to enhance our language skills and expand our ability to express ourselves. Each new word we learn gives us the tools to communicate more precisely, whether in writing or speaking. As we encounter advanced vocabulary, we develop a deeper understanding of the subtleties in language, enabling us to describe ideas, emotions, and experiences more vividly. By actively building our vocabulary, we also become more adept at reading and comprehending complex texts, which strengthens our overall language proficiency. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you found these words and their meanings useful, and I encourage you to keep exploring new vocabulary. Remember, the more words you know, the more you can share and connect with others in meaningful ways. Don't forget to practice, and I'll see you in the next video.